In this mini lesson, we're going to talk about modulation, which is a change of key in the same song, in the same backing track. We'll talk a very simple form of change of keys, a full step modulation, which is on the guitar 2 frets. So we're going to have one key in one area of the fretboard, and the second key is going to be found 2 frets higher or 2 frets lower. There's a lot of different ways to playing over modulation, but we're going to try to create short musical ideas that are going to be very natural, that are going to go from one key to the other in a very natural way. And to do that, we're going to use chromatic notes. In the backing track we're going to work over, we're having 2 keys, A Dorian and B Dorian. Now A Dorian can be played all over the fretboard. There's a lot of different positions that you can use to play the notes of A Dorian. Same for B Dorian. So we need to focus on one position that you're going to decide, and for this example we'll start with the first position of A Dorian, which happens between frets 5 and 8 pretty much for that first position. And then the second position, B Dorian, we're going to use the same exact diagram, the same shape for B Dorian, which is found 2 frets higher. So instead of being between frets 5 and 8, B Dorian is going to happen between frets 7 and 10. 2 frets higher. The important thing when you're improvising is to make coherent sentences, coherent musical ideas. We're going to start to build one idea in A Dorian and continue the same musical idea as the song modulates. So you don't want to have the effect that a lot of players have when they play a sentence and then as soon as it modulates, they stop and then switch keys. We're going to start on one key and continue the idea in the next one. And for that, we're going to use notes that are outside of both of these scales to make a transition. If you're phrasing in the first position of A Dorian, you're in this area of the fretboard, and then you want to go to the second key, which is B Dorian, which is in this area of the fretboard. So from here to here, there is here. So you might say that these notes are outside of both keys. They're not in A Dorian and not in B Dorian, and you're right. We're going to use some tension to really accentuate the modulation, that something is happening in the music, and whenever there's tension, there's resolution. And the resolution is going to happen right when that change is happening, and that's going to create something very interesting for the listener. In A Dorian, we're going to use the position we determined, which is between frets 5 and 8 in this area of the fretboard. In B Dorian, we're going to use the same shape, but this time in B, between frets 7 and 10. And right in between, we're going to use an imaginary position. We're going to use the same shape, Dorian shape, but this time that's happening right in between the A and B roots, and that's going to be A sharp or B flat. Now, B flat Dorian is not in the key of the song, the backing track, but that's all right. We're going to still use it as a tension to accentuate the release, and that's going to happen right before the key change. So listen to the backing track, get used to where the modulation takes place, create very simple, short ideas, develop new ideas like that, and have fun, practice well.